going into the second leg in Italy next weekend. All right. Jurgen Klinsmann back with us. Jurgen, Inter will be absolutely delighted, won't they, with this?
Yeah, I think they also deserved it. It was in the beginning. I mean, I think Feyenoord had some opportunities, never too big of them, but then once Thuram scored the first goal, obviously then Lautaro Martinez with the second, the game was over. Yeah, they are a very professional performance. They were very focused. You never had the feeling that Feyenoord mentally kind of get on that level of Inter. Because they knew exactly what they were doing, what they wanted to achieve. Obviously, then they missed a penalty for a 3-0. But overall, okay, solid performance by Inter. Now they go with that result back to Milano. They should get the job done. And then we most likely look at a quarterfinal Inter Milan against Bayern Munich, which is something also special to look forward to.
Old school. Old school. What's that, 2010 Champions League final? I was the voice of the stadium at the Bernabeu.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Thank you for that.
That's all right, just make it about me somehow.
Was that the Mourinho game where they just absolutely sat in
Absolutely,
on the edge of the box?
Yeah, and then he left to go to Real Madrid.
And got the job done. They were all crying at the end, weren't they?
Well, I was too busy enjoying my UEFA.
Oh, all right. What happened?
Were they desperate?
Your UEFA what?
The UEFA were desperate.
No, they weren't. They were very... Right, anyway.
They couldn't find anybody else.
No one wants to play Inter, do they, in this competition?
They're strong. I mean, this was not flashy at all. He left out Çalhanoğlu, your favourite player, because there's a big battle in Serie A.
Yeah.
DiMarco wasn't fit on the left-hand side, so Bastoni played out there. He sort of alternated with Acerbi. So it wasn't the most fluid, and that's why you saw the goal coming down the right-hand side, the first goal. It wasn't the most fluid. And Feyenoord were tidy. Certainly in the first half, they were tidy. But it was I would just describe it as a very comfortable evening for them.
Yeah.
They didn't have to overwork themselves. They didn't have to break much of a sweat. It wasn't a really physical game. And yeah, when they put out their full side, if all being well, everybody being fit, when they get to the quarter-final, they're going to be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, that's interesting. Really it's interesting. You mentioned, obviously, Inter Bayern. They're playing tomorrow, Jurgen. Who would you pick?
Well, if they play tomorrow, I would pick Bayern probably. You know, the way they perform today. But Inter, they have. I said it for a couple of times throughout the year. So they have two rosters basically. I mean, they have two teams that they can literally sub every position on the field with the same quality, and that is impressive. And I think this has been developed over the last 4, 5, 6 years. So they matured a lot as a team, as a group. And they're hungry. They want to do it. They read that every day in the Italian newspapers. What is expected from them. That it is time to show up in the Champions League to make it happen. And they live that day in, day out now. So that's why I think they have the qualities on the field. They have the mentality off the field. But obviously Bayern Munich is experienced in that way as well. It's going to be a fascinating clash if these two now meet in the next round. Absolutely fascinating.
There's two sides play a back three religiously.
Okay.
To differing effects.
Yes.
Manchester United.
How did you get Manchester United into this Champions League conversation?
Well, how many teams do you know? I'll tell you why I say that. I'll tell you how I got them in. Because he religiously plays a back three.
Yeah.
But they have, and the reason I say that is because at the moment we always have this discussion about Ruben Amorim and how they are horrendous, and he continues to play this back three. Different players, of course. They have built a squad with the players that can play this system. The wing-backs know how to play it. But more importantly, the three centre-backs, whoever it is, they're just rugged defenders that want to... If you want a fight, they'll have a fight with you. You know what I mean? If they want to be physical, they'll be physical. They're experienced, they're all international footballers, but he's one of the coaches that religiously plays this system, and they play it at this moment in time better than anybody in Europe.
But every part of Inter can play a different way. He's talking about the defenders doing that bit. You've got the middle of the park who can do that, but who can also pass the ball. And then you've got your forwards like Lautaro Martinez, who finishes like that. So whatever is thrown at them, they can adjust. Although they keep a similar shape, they can adjust. So that's why you're correct when you say, does MD want anything to do with him? No, you don't, because they don't give much away, and that means you can't give much away either.
Do you want last one?
No, sure. Why not, Dan? All I would say about the guys are talking about the specific players, the formations, how this team can shift into different forms and different shapes. There's an intangible to Inter. They have know-how and experience. It's a very experienced team and players that have been in this sort of games time in and time out, year in and year out. And that has a lot of value once you get into the latter stages of the competition. Inter, just like Atletico Madrid, is the sort of team that nobody wants to play. And of course, even if you're Bayern Munich, you have to be a whole lot better than you have been over the course of the season in terms of the consistency if you want to get past Inter.
Inter, of course, very much involved in the title race in Serie A. Just a reminder how tight it is there at the top of the table as we're going into the latter stages. They are 1 point clear of Napoli, 3 clear of Atalanta.